Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's what could Fortnite do to make me play the game as much as I did back in Chapter 2? And throughout the time that I've been thinking about this, there's only one thing that's come to mind, and that is for Fortnite to go back to Chapter 2. Now, honestly, Fortnite Chapter 2, in my opinion, was leaps and bounds better than Chapter 1. I mean, first of all, if we just look at the loot pool was always constantly changing. Everything felt fresh and new. Even though they did bring back things that were previously vaulted back into the game, they also brought back in a lot of really cool new items and weapons, as well as having a lot of different areas on the map that we hadn't seen in Chapter 1. Also, the collaborations. This is when collaborations were really prevalent and new and fresh, and they felt very exciting and everything. Like, we had the Naruto collab in this one. We had a ton of great collabs in this chapter, and it was overall just a great chapter. Also, it was 8 seasons long. Now, in comparison to the 10 seasons that we had in Chapter 1, that isn't very good. But now, in comparison to the 4 or 5 that we might be getting in this chapter, that is really good. The storyline was also pretty good. This is when I was most excited about Fortnite and the storyline, because it just felt like everything, there was still so much to be uncovered, and now it feels like we just know everything. Additionally, we also had one of the best seasons of all time, which was Chapter 2 Season 2 with the spy theme. That was one of the best seasons and most fun I've ever had on Fortnite. That was absolutely amazing. A fantastic season where mythics were first introduced. When we also look at the events that we had here, we had the Travis Scott live concert. We had the Ariana Grande live concert here. We had the flooding, the sand in the middle. We had the entire flipping of the island. Obviously, that was going into Chapter 3, but that was an amazing end event. That was Fortnite Chapter 2 is undoubtedly one of the best chapters that we've had, if not the best, and I think really the only way for us to recapture that feeling that we had is to go back to Chapter 2. And even though during that time all everybody wanted was to go back to the Chapter 1 map, this map was very underrated, and it was very good. Obviously, I know that Fortnite would never just completely restart and go all the way back to Chapter 2 to reinvent the storyline and everything, but I do think it would be very beneficial to them, because not only would they get a new chance to create new maps and maybe reinvent some of the chapters and reinvent some of the storylines, I think that it would also give them an opportunity to bring more people back to the game. Whenever you hear something old coming back into Fortnite, a lot of people want to come back and play the game. So I think that would bring a lot of new players and even bring back some old players into the game as well. Fortnite Chapter 2 was very revolutionary because we brought in swimming. Like, even though Chapter 2 Season 1 was very slow, it was like 100 days or something, it was a really long season. After that, it really picked up, and it was just fantastic. This was when I first started doing YouTube. This is when my creative, I guess, fire, you could say, was the biggest, and a lot of brand new creators got noticed through this season. If we talk about goals, we talk about Mr. Fresh Asian, a lot of those people became really popular in Chapter 2, and it was kind of like a shift of creators and a shift of new players coming into the game. That was really good for the game. Additionally, we also saw a heap of map changes during this chapter. There was constantly map changes, even in the middle of different seasons. Like in Chapter 2 Season 3, they brought in Atlantis, which was a Coral Castle. Obviously, nobody liked that, but still, nonetheless, it was a map change in the middle of the season, and that was the things that kept people playing the game and kept people excited for what was going to come next. And it feels like, especially in Chapter 4, it doesn't really feel like that anymore. It feels like we're going to have to wait weeks and weeks for there to be a new update or for there to be content. I'm going to have a video coming out talking about why and how Fortnite news is dead, and that is a whole different conversation, but it definitely has felt like that. Definitely in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, it's felt like Fortnite news is completely dead, and the only way for them to do that, to reverse that, I guess, is by adding more things to the game, creating more hype. Also, in this chapter, Fortnite leaks were at their highest. Like, stuff was getting leaked all the time. And now for some of you that may sound really bad, because I know a lot of you don't like leaks and things like that, but they recently just actually nerfed a lot of the leakers, I guess nerfed in quotation marks, to where they can't leak certain things. I think they're under an agreement or something, or they might have threatened to take away their creator code. Something like that. They did something to where they nerfed leakers, so they're really not able to leak much anymore without being under legal trouble or being at risk of getting their entire revenue stream stripped of them in, snap of the fingers. So yeah, leaks were very, very prevalent during that time, and that's why I decided to create my YouTube channel. I just think in general it would be really, really good for us to go back to chapter 2. I think a lot of people really, really enjoyed that chapter and those seasons that were in that chapter. We had the collab season. That was awesome. And even though a lot of people hated on that, a lot of people hated on this chapter in general, I think the general consensus now is that we didn't understand what we had before it was gone. Because I don't think anymore we're going to be able to get that same feeling where we're like, oh, I'm really connected to this Fortnite map, or I've made a lot of memories on this map, because the chapters are just too short, because Fortnite thinks that we need to have a new map every, 4 or 5 seasons, when that's really not it. We just need significant changes to the one that we're on. That would perfectly suffice to keep people interested in the game, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for this video, is that I personally want to go back to chapter 2. Chapter 2 was awesome in general. There's so many great skins, so many great storyline themes. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.